Hello, my name is Marifer Flores, and in my presentation today, I'm going to be comparing two religions, which are Hinduism and Buddhism. In particular, I'm going to be comparing the beliefs and practices from both of the religions. The first religion I'm going to be talking about is Hinduism. Hinduism is basically the main religion in India. It has no particular founder. Hinduism unites the worship of many gods with the belief in a single divine reality. There is two major theories in Hinduism: Aryan invasion theory and Aryan migration theory. Aryan invasion theory is where the Aryans were believed to be the religious writings of these invading people by the Vedas. They moved from present-day southern Russia about 200 BC in two directions, westward into Europe and eastward into Iran and India. Aryan migration theory is assumed to influence from outside India and is considered a continued relic of Western cultural imperialism. They got their name because they were repeated waves of migrations into Pakistan and northern India. The name of the scripture in Hinduism is called the Vedas. Their information basically covers from the years 2000 to 500 BC, which was called the Vedic period. The name basically stands for knowledge or sacred lore. There's four basic sacred text collections: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. The role of women in Hinduism, I would consider it a very old-fashioned way because they play more of a secondary role in which they help their husbands in performing obligatory duties and enable him to continue his family traditions, as well as to care for his children and raise them. The second religion I'm going to be talking about is Buddhism. Buddhism is considered the world's most oldest and most significant religion. It is spread throughout most of Asia, but it began in India. In Buddhism, there is three marks of reality: change, no permanent identity, and suffering, which all basically are to show the process of life as we age. In Buddhism, the sacred text is called Sanskrit, which is often called the Latin of India because of its widespread use in the earlier years for scholarly words. Women in Buddhism are considered inferior to men. They played the role of a housewife. They were also considered a burden on the family because the men had to look after them, which is honestly pretty sad if we think about it. Moving on to the comparisons. The two practices I will be comparing are yoga and the Noble Eightfold Path. Yoga stands for union, which connects to its purpose, which is to connect with yourself to help you live spiritually. There are 6 different yogas: knowledge yoga, action yoga, royal yoga, devotion yoga, force yoga, and kundalini yoga. The Noble Eightfold Path is believed to lead to liberation from the impermanence and suffering of reality. Just like its name states, there is 8 steps, which are right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right work, and right effort. Some similarities that I would say yoga and the Noble Eightfold Path have in common are that 1, they are both practiced to better ourselves for our own self. 2, they both have multiple steps than just one. And 3, I would probably say that they both teach you on how to be happy with yourself. Some of the differences between yoga and the Noble Eightfold Path are that one of them has 8 steps and the other doesn't really have steps. It's just multiple ways of practicing it with different purposes. Another difference would be that one is to help you spiritually and the other is to liberate you from suffering. And last but not least, the Eightfold Path, I would say, teaches you on how to live day by day rather than yoga would. And to conclude my presentation, we talked about Buddhism and Hinduism, the role of women in both of the religions, and basically how they were both built. We also compared yoga and the Noble Eightfold Path, which are both practices from the religions. Yoga, it's from Hinduism, and the Noble Eightfold Path is from Buddhism. And within comparing them, we also learned about how they were similar and how they were different.